All right, let's jump right into this explainer for the Claude Code version 2.1140 release. Think of this as a quick, over-the-shoulder code review with me today, focusing on some major pipeline stability upgrades. If you're building with agents, you know that stability is literally everything. Today, we're treating this like a product release summary that brings some much-needed forgiveness to our code, specifically around agent tool routing and background session stability. So grab your coffee, put your senior developer hat on, and let's walk through these pipeline fixes together. Because look, as developers building these complex agent pipelines, we've all been absolutely bitten by silent routing failures during tool setup. There is nothing worse than losing precious debugging hours trying to track down these tiny formatting errors that the system just completely swallows up without a trace. You set up your tool, you run your agent, and crickets. Nothing happens. Or even worse, the agent hallucinates a wild path because the tool you built just didn't route correctly. It's incredibly frustrating, and it completely derails your entire workflow.
Well, this latest release tackles that exact pain point head-on. As the release summary perfectly puts it, and I love this phrasing, writing our agent pipelines just got significantly less brittle. When we say brittle code, we mean systems that just completely shatter the moment an input deviates even slightly from absolute perfection. By making the underlying routing logic smarter and way more resilient, the framework is basically taking on the burden of perfect formatting, so you don't have to stress over every single keystroke when setting up your agents.
Okay, moving into Section 1, Fixing Tool Routing. Let's take a look at the new case-insensitive formatting setup.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is that the subagent.type field is now much more forgiving. It has been updated to accept case and separator insensitive values. In older versions, if your capitalization was off by literally a single letter, or say you used a space instead of a dash, the routing simply failed, just like that. Now the system automatically smooths out those formatting mismatches entirely behind the scenes. This is exactly the kind of developer quality of life update that saves teams hours of ridiculous debugging.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates the change we're talking about. Previously, a formatting mismatch here caused a complete, silent failure. But now, let's say you define your tool and input a string like code reviewer with a capital C, a hyphen, and a capital R. Or, alternatively, you just input the standard lowercase code reviewer with a space. Under this new 2.1.140 logic, both of these inputs seamlessly resolve to the exact same code reviewer tool. The agent actually understands your intent, ignores the casing and the extra separator noise, and successfully routes the task.
Thinking about this as a step-by-step setup workflow going forward, your process is now completely streamlined. Step 1, you can input your tool type a bit more loosely in that subagent.type field. Step 2, you just let the Claude Code system automatically bypass any of those minor case or separator formatting mismatches. And Step 3, you simply sit back and watch your agent route successfully to the right tool. It's a smarter agent pipeline that actually works with you, rather than penalizing you for a stray capital letter.
All right, let's transition over to Section 2, Background Stability, and focus on resolving those annoying session crashes.
We've got two very distinct stability fixes for the pipeline backend here. First up, the Claude B service. Previously, you might have seen this really frustrating connection dropped error right when the background service was winding down to idle. That has been completely patched. Claude B now winds down gracefully without throwing false failure flags. Second, and this is a big one for those of you working in larger corporate environments, startup failures have finally been resolved for machines running strict enterprise endpoint security.
If you've been battling those startup crashes, the solution they deployed was actually beautifully simple, but highly effective. To bypass that strict enterprise security, which you know often inspects and slightly delays local network traffic, the fix simply allows the background service to wait longer to establish its connection during startup. It's really just a smarter timeout threshold. It gives your endpoint security the breathing room it needs to scan the connection without timing out your entire agent session before it even gets off the ground.
Now, as always, with these technical updates, the devil is in the details. You can dig into the full release notes via the link in our description to review the exact deployment specifics and see if any other minor tweaks affect your specific codebase. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe to catch all our future technical explainers so you never miss a critical update to your development stack.
So, we've covered the new, much more forgiving routing logic and those crucial background session stability patches. But my challenge to you, as a fellow developer, as we wrap up this explainer, is this. With these silent routing failures finally eradicated and those frustrating back-end crashes totally out of your way, your pipeline is now absolutely rock solid. So, What incredible things are your smarter agents going to build next?